That's my best Chaka Khan impersonation you're going to get. I mean, bar none, she's my favorite female singer of all time. I get a lot of my bends, my riffs, and my background vocal arrangements from her. Out of all the female singers who I studied while being under my mom, she was the one that I gravitated to the most, just in terms of song selection, phrasing, diction, a lot of style to her voice, especially because she was so much into jazz, even with world-renowned tradings of gospel and soul in between. And you know, there will never be enough words to describe how much this Chi-Town girl influenced me, and not just her, but even her entire family as well. Because unlike most people who study Chaka, I studied not only Chaka, but I studied her camp. Of course, Rufus. All the musicians in Rufus were influences on my guitar playing, from Tony Maiden, bass playing for Bobby Watson, Andre Fisher in terms of drumming. So, and even producing later on, because Andre Fisher is an amazing producer. But also Chaka's family. As most people know, Mark Stevens, her younger brother, not only a founding member of the Jamaica Boys, but definitely a co-writer and co-conspirator on some of Chaka's best solo work, like Some Love and what I'm Missing, and of course the infamous We Got Each Other, where they're doing a duet pretty much. And you know, the one thing I gravitated towards Mark for was for the fact that we're very similar. You know, we have definitely second tenor baritone phrasing, but we can also sing first tenor and upper register if need be. So that was the great thing about watching Mark sing behind his sister on certain tours and things like that. Not only because he's a mean bass player who influenced my bass playing as well, but also because, you know, he can put those upper register notes up there. So I did a lot of studying of just her family in general, especially her sister Taka as well, because you know Taka was a main influence on a lot of my balancing with the in and outs of everything, in terms of doing the bends and the riffs, and then keeping it even at mid-level more so than her sister. So I just really did my homework when it came to the entire family, of the entire Steve's family. I remember the first time I heard Chaka Khan was an album called Rufus featuring Chaka Khan. It was the album that my mother and my aunt constantly played whenever they were in the house. So of course I would sit there and I would look at this album cover with these big juicy lips on the cover, and then on the back there's Chaka Khan with all her Native American garb on. And of course, because I'm Native American myself, I instantly connected just with the photo alone, with her sitting with the legs open and widespread and different things like that. And yeah, of course, I had a crush, so you know. It was really cool to hear my mother listen to the entire album, because back then, you know, the albums really meant something. Anybody could have a great song, but not everybody could have a great album. So the beautiful thing about a Rufus and Chaka Khan record is that you could put the needle anywhere, and it's a journey. And Rufus albums were definitely, and still are, my musical textbooks, as well as Chaka solo stuff. So the first song I heard was written by Gavin Christopher, one of the greatest songwriters in R&B pop history. Shout out to Gavin, Chi-Town City Boy Merchant. Was a song called Have a Good Time. And you know, the one thing I love about Chaka is that no matter what song she gets on, she likes to kill from the gate. So, you know, as soon as the beat comes on for Have a Good Time, when the chorus comes in, she don't waste no time. It's just like, like she just starts going in on it. And that's just really attracted me as a kid. And even in the chorus, you think she's going to let up, and she just doesn't let up. You know, have a good time! Oh, yeah! Like she just starts just going off a lot of these different things. And I just was really, really excited as a kid just listening to her. So it always stuck with me. And then, you know, the beautiful thing was watching a lot of female singers at the Apollo who were local attempt to do Chaka's material. You know, some were good and some weren't good. So I thank the Lord that my mother and my aunt knew how to deliver, because, you know, like me, they studied, you know, the Chaka stuff intensely enough to nail it down and make it sound the way it's supposed to sound. But a lot of times, you know, you would hear these girls try to do it, and they would do it with unrealistic results. And the only thing that they had down about Chaka was the move that she always does when she always sings. You know, the whole little dip dialing with the hand gesture and everything like that. But it was just interesting to watch, because back then that was a golden rule. You had 4 female singers to choose from if you want to make an impression on a New York City crowd, especially. Of course, there's Chaka, Aretha, Patti, and Gladys. If you want to make an impression back then, you had to sing any one of the hardest songs from those 4. And Chaka was always in the top 2 one way or another, because Chaka had a range and a certain diction that just kind of flowed with each other. Even when she did backgrounds, you listen to a song like Disrespectful, what she did with Mary J. Blige. It's just like, it's a certain trademark that she has when she does it. I remember when you used to love me. Like, she would just give that to you. And it's like you can all just hear her whole trademark and influence on that whole thing. And also, of course, the infamous "Do You Love What You Feel?" There's that one note that, in the bridge of the song where a lot of people would, a lot of females would try to hit it and they couldn't hit it, but only Chaka had this way of doing it, where it was just like, like, she would go there. And it was so great to see her daughter, Melanie, hit it, when they did the tribute to Chaka Khan on the United Negro College Fund special. Her and Mark saying, "Do You Love What You Feel?" And Melanie, she hit that. That's all I gotta say. Like mother, like daughter, she killed it and murdered it, only like I knew she would. And it's just great to see that I'm not the only male singer influenced by Chaka Khan, of course, simply because of not only the range and also even her as an excellent writer. I mean, she wrote some of Rufus's best hits, like Somebody's Watching You, and Pack My Bags, and Best of Your Heart, Stay. Like, she wrote a lot of that stuff, or co-wrote a lot of that stuff at least. And there's just no words to describe. I mean, to this very day, I still look to her. She's like, family to me now, because, we bonded real heavy when, thanks to Carlton, my boy Carlton Smith, I opened up for her singing background for him, where she was able to recognize my first tenor voice out of the background section. So I was kind of proud about that. And, we had a 2-hour conversation, which was amazing. I learned a lot. She signed my albums, and it was just like, it was basically like talking to somebody in my family. Definitely, she's still hood no matter what, which I love about her even more. And that's one-on-one on Law's favorite singer. Chaka Khan is going to keep on doing it till it will never be done before. She still got it, ain't lost nothing, never will lose nothing. Love you, Chaka. Bye-bye.